Now, I've received a lot of text messages about your work today. So tell me, what you did a press conference?
Yeah, it was indeed a press conference that we held.
Okay, so is a group. What's your name? What's the name of the group?
The group's name is called Cadres for Accountable.
You can take off your mask because we have enough distance, so we can speak louder. People must hear you.
Cadres for Accountable Leadership.
Cadres for Accountable Leadership. So you want us to believe that you're a member of the NDC?
Yes, I have been working for the NDC for many years now, and the cadres who have toiled to ensure the existence of this party.
You are a cadre?
Yes, I've been to many cadre.
Do you have an
meetings.
NDC card you can show me? Now, I'm asking you these questions because text messages are coming into our studio tonight that says that you are MPP people and you just did this press conference so that you muddy the waters in the opponent's party, that you're not true NDC people. How can you sustain the claim that you are an NDC person?
Paul, those claims or allegations are very, very preposterous. I am saying that me, Livingston Pechali, I have worked and toiled for the party for many years. And indeed, after our press conference today, senior members of the party have called me in confidence and have congratulated us for coming out with these elements that we want the party to put together. Each pink sheets that it sent the polling agents together. And for us also to have, if they have done any collation. Because after the election in 2020?
No, let me ask a few more questions to confirm your identity as a member of the National Democratic Congress. Which constituency do you belong to?
I'm from Ayawaso West Wuogon.
Ayawaso West Wuogon. Did you campaign for John Dumelo?
I did.
Does he know you?
Very, very well. And I need not talk too much to kind of place my record, what I've done for the party.
Does John Dumelo know? If I call him now and I said, you know Livingston, one of your people at Ayawaso, would he know you?
Everybody knows Livingston Pechali in the NDC other political party. I have been engaged in many works. I was communication director at the office of the president under President Mills.
Okay, so that's something.
I was special operations unit communication director.
Wait, communication director under President Mills?
Yes, special operations unit.
In the castle?
Yes.
Who was your boss?
Nelson Abudu.
Nelson
Abudu.
Abudu.
Special operations unit.
Special operations unit?
Yes, please.
So this is at Professor Mills' castle?
Yes, please.
So you know President Mahama?
I do know him. I have worked for him.
Does he know you?
He knows me. We are all members of the Pan-African Parliament. We are also a Pan-African Islamic Congress. We're members of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign Group. We have had so many meetings at the Freedom Center in Accra, so many study groups.
What was the last time you saw President Mahama?
Last time I saw President Mahama was in Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone?
Yes, please.
When?
That was in, I think, 2018, personally, where we interacted.
Oh, you've not seen your presidential candidate in 2 years? 2018?
2018, I was working in Sierra Leone. I was communication director for the Vice President Samuel Samsumana. And His Excellency John Mahama was in Sierra Leone as head of the Commonwealth Observer Mission. Mm-hmm. We interacted. I have pictures. What are people talking about? Okay. You see, I don't engage in this pettiness. The gravamen of the press conference today is to elicit response from the party leadership of how the 2020 election went. Where are the pink sheets? Where are the collated figures? These things are very critical because the rank and file, the majority of the cadre that I speak for, do not know these figures. And we need to have these figures for us to do an analysis. SWOT, of course, for us to find out what went wrong, what went wrong. In this constituency, how did the numbers depreciate or appreciate? And how, for us, we can glean from these figures the way forward and strategize for 2024. This is not too difficult, something to ask for. That people should be mentioning preposterous allegations. After all these hard works, campaigning, working in the Committee for Joint Action, several demonstrations across Ghana, I am not just a Johnny Just Come. I have worked and worked. And if the cadres today have found it that I should articulate their points properly, and they said that I should mount the podium, and I'm doing that, then some feeble minds want to bring diversionary tactics. Don't forget, the party has one of its ideals as probity, accountability, social justice. The accountability part is what we are invoking today, that they need to be accountable to the rank and file of the party. The party base now is so demoralized. We need to carry them along in the process of healing, in the process of working together to come up with pragmatic policies.
Okay, so your complaint is that the NDC did. Okay, so you were in Ayawaso West Wuogon. I take it that being an important member of the party, you are working with a campaign in Ayawaso West Wuogon, correct?
I am a rover man.
Okay,
I
so
do a lot.
Okay, so did you work with the campaign in Ayawaso West Wuogon, or you didn't?
I did.
You did,
and
okay.
I did across the
On
country.
the night of the voting, after voting had ended, at about say 12 midnight, I was here. Where were you?
I was in Mankesim.
Mankesim?
Yes.
Is that where you voted?
An operation took me there. A party operation.
A party operation relating to elections?
Exactly.
Okay. Did you collate any figures in Mankesim?
I was not directly a part of that particular enterprise. The party actually has people dedicated to accomplish that task. Mm-hmm. So I will not be able to speak on behalf of the NDC coalition team or the election directorate. I'm not on that qualified ladder.
In 2016, the NDC lost the election. We didn't hear you ask for figures. Did NDC have the figures of 2016?
Great question, Paul. In 2016, when things went haywire, we couldn't collect the result, we couldn't gather our patients properly, the cadres activated a very internal process to reach out to the party leadership to find out what went wrong. And this culminated in the constitution of the Adom-Otchere Committee that went into the events surrounding our loss. The committee produced a report. As I'm talking to you, the rank and file of the party are not privy to the contents of that report.
Of the Adom-Otchere report?
Exactly.
Oh, but I've seen it. How come you haven't seen it?
I am saying the rank and file of the party, you might be in a privileged position to have a copy of that committee report.
But the rank and file of the NDC party is 5 million people. All of them must see it? You want to make 5 million copies of the Adom-Otchere report?
That is why our party is founded on the ideals of transparency and accountability, to carry everyone along.
So you want to make 5 million copies of the Adom-Otchere report?
The party has structures. The party can delineate the content of that report to the constituencies, to the branch levels. It will reach the wards.
But hasn't the steering committee assessed the Adom-Otchere report and based on that, taking certain decisions towards the 2020 election? That's my information.
That is the problem. I'm saying that discussions or consultations were not broad enough in kind of analyzing the content of that committee report. We are running a political party, and it's based on numbers. There are millions of people who have fought for this party. They have toiled. So some committee of somewhere steering cannot take decision for the whole party. We need to energize our party base. The grassroots are crying for them to be carried along. So let us stop that only top approach. Let it simmer down. Let's work together.
Quite interesting. Now, going into 2020, did you not, was it not part of the party's plan to have a coalition of results? I'm asking that because after the 2008 election, there were wild allegations within the rank and file of the NPP that the election had been stolen, the presidential election had been stolen by the NDC, and the NPP rank and file believed that Nana Akufo-Addo won the first round of that presidential election. A clear indication was made that going into the other elections, the MPP must be firm in collecting its own coalition seats. All of these conversations found its way to IPAC, and all of those issues were discussed. And therefore, at IPAC, it was agreed that it's an obligation of the Electoral Commission to hand over pink sheets at every polling station to the contesting political parties. And that was factored in the budget that the Electoral Commission takes to Parliament, because Ghanaians are going to pay for that, and every political party is going to get a pink sheet. So in 2012, when the MPP found themselves in a similar situation where they were alleging that the election had been misplaced against them, they were very ready, and they had collected their results, and they had all their pink sheets, and they went to court with it. And since then, the Electoral Commission hands over pink sheets to political parties. So going into 2020's election, you being a key member of the NDC, was there not a plan of how you will put these results together? Because at every polling station of the 38,000 polling stations, where I voted and where you voted and where our viewers voted, NDC was handed over a pink sheet. But NDC must have a plan to bring together all the 38,000 pink sheets. Are you saying you didn't hear about any such plan to do this, or that there was and it wasn't well done? What is the point you're making about this?
Paul, my point is simple. Indeed, as you alluded, going to the election, the party will not just go and say, let us just go into the election without deploying polling agents. Definitely the party would do that. But we are saying, after the deployment of those polling agents, were they able to do their job? Did they bring the pink sheets? Did we process the raw data that was on the pink sheets? These are legitimate, genuine questions to ask. You know, look at the event that unfolded at the electing petition hearing at the Supreme Court. The petitioner and the two witnesses were asked copious times by the judges. What figures did you yourself collate? There was no convincing answer. If you had done that, we would have come out with a distinct figure in order to challenge what the Electoral Commission had declared. And that would have put you in pole position to have or assemble a watertight case to prosecute at the Supreme Court.
Okay, so the point you are making is that, why are you blaming President Mahama for this? You have a director of elections, don't you?
You see, I need to correct this. You know, we did a press conference. We issued a full-blown statement.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a journalist for many years, so I want to pardon some of the things. There might be some misreportage somewhere, or some. You see, our statement is focusing on pink sheets. The issues of placard have come to my attention, and my simple answer is that some of the people who joined the press conference today might have one or two issues with President John Mahama and decided to take charge of the occasion. Please look at our press statement. We have written to the party headquarters, addressed to the leader of the party in the person of Comrade Ofosu-Ampofo, who is the national chairman. We are asking that the party make sure that they provide these pink sheets and the collation figure, if there is any, to the rank and file of the party, so that we can do a proper analysis and plan ahead for 2020. Mind you, 2024 is going to be a year for the NDC. If we put our house in order, the party currently has no center to coagulate around. We have to act, and the time is now. So, I should know better to be spokesperson for the Cadres for accountability. Why should I be appealing to John Mahama to come and provide us with pink sheets? The party structures are there. The leader of the party now is Ofosu-Ampofo, for the national chairman.
But you have given him 2 weeks to do that.
We have given the party 2 weeks ultimatum to respond, and then we judge all. We look at things, and then we talk as family. Then we take appropriate strategies going forward.
So your directive is not to President Mahama?
Not at all.
It is to the chairman of the party, the Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo.
Exactly. It's in the press statement. You have our press statement.
Okay. Yes, I have it. I've not just looked at it thoroughly.
But let me make this point. Mm-hmm. You see, if I have seen so many people jumping on social media, You see, if they think that they want to draw President Mahama inside, that should be their own cup of tea. If they think that he was the leader of the NDC in 2020 election, and that the back might have stopped with him in terms of collation of these pieces, that's fine. But what we are invoking at this moment is for us to do some soul searching as a political party. The task ahead, Paul, for the NDC is not going to be easy. We need to correct a lot of things.
But does your coalition believe that President Mahama should be the candidate again?
You see, I wouldn't want to venture into that prematurity of events. That is another thing. The party will have timelines. Candidates will have to enter the race. We have to do campaign and all of that. I wouldn't want to enter into that particular arena. We need to do first things first. Let's reorganize the party base. Let's carry the grassroots along. Let them be part of the decision making. Let us own a strategy as a common front. This country needs the NDC to correct things. Paul, this country must work again.
Okay, I'll leave it here. Thank you for your time. So we'll be checking and come back to you in, is it 2 weeks from now? And see whether the party has responded to you appropriately, and whether you, and if they haven't responded, what are your next steps? We'll deal with that, can't we? We can deal with that.
I'm grateful, Paul, and thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, without much ado, what's the time now? 10 minutes to the top of the hour, 11 o'clock. We'll call it a day, can't we? And then we'll continue on social media. Next week, did I say next week? Actually, Thursday, we will do a content analysis of the reports from the EIU, the Economics Intelligence Unit. We had prepared for that today, but we overran with time, so we decided that we won't do it. We'll do that on Thursday. And then there's another document, which is a political overview, Ghana National Survey conducted in January 2021. It's by the European Public Policy Institute. This document, I've had some people send it to me tonight after we put up the poster. This document also makes some instructive commentary on Ghana's political fortunes in 2024 relating to representation from the opposition, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Alan Chermati, and John Dramani Mahama on the other side. It looks like we're getting into that very, very early in the day to discuss the political fortunes of election 2024. On Thursday, we'll try and do a good analysis. I've also invited some chiefs to join me from the Ashanti region. They'll be here on Ghana Month. As you know, they'll be telling us about the history of Ashanti and the Federation and the Adom-Otchere and all of that. That's not political, but it's very interesting and educative. So have a good Wednesday tomorrow, and Thursday, let's meet again here. But in the meantime, let's continue on social media. My name is Adom-Otchere. Good night.